Nothing to be done. I'm beginning to come round to that opinion. All my life I've tried to put it from me, saying, Vladimir, be reasonable. You haven't yet tried everything. And I resumed the struggle. Am I? I am glad to see you back. I thought you were gone forever. Me too. Together again at last. We'll have to celebrate this. But how? Get up till I embrace you. Not now, not now. May one inquire where His Highness spent the night? In a ditch. A ditch? Where? Over there. And they didn't beat you? Beat me? Certainly they beat me. The same lot as usual? The same? I don't know. When I think of it, all these years, but for me, where would you be? You'd be nothing more than a little heap of bones at the present minute, no doubt about it. And what of it? Is too much for one man. On the other hand, what's the good of losing heart now? That's what I say. We should have thought of it a million years ago in the 90s. Stop blathering and help me off with this bloody thing. Hand in hand from the top of the Eiffel Tower among the first. We were respectable in those days. Now it's too late. They wouldn't even let us up. What are you doing? I'm taking off my boot. Did that never happen to you? Boots must be taken off every day. I'm tired of telling you that. Why don't you listen to me? Help me. It hurts? Hurts. He wants to know if it hurts. No one ever suffers but you. I don't count. I'd like to hear what you'd say if you have done what I have. It hurts? Hurts. He wants to know if it hurts. You might button it all the same. True. Never neglect the little things of life. What do you expect? You always wait until the last moment. The last moment. Hope deferred maketh the something sick. Who said that? Why don't you help me? Sometimes I feel it coming all the same. Then I go all queer. How shall I say? Relieved at the same time. Appalled. Appalled. Funny. Nothing to be done. Well? Nothing. Show me. There's nothing to show. Try and put it on again. I'll air it for a bit. There's a man all over for you, blaming on his boots the fault of his feet. This is getting alarming. One of the thieves was saved. It's a reasonable percentage. Go. What? Suppose we repented. Repented what? Oh, we wouldn't have to go into the details. Our being born? One daren't even laugh anymore. Dreadful privation. Merely smile. It's not the same thing. Nothing to be done. Go. What is it? Did you ever read the Bible? The Bible. I must have taken a look at it. Do you remember the Gospels? I remember the maps of the Holy Land. Colored they were. Very pretty. The Dead Sea was pale blue. The very look of it made me thirsty. That's where we'll go. I used to say, that's where we'll go for our honeymoon. We'll swim. We'll be happy. You should have been a poet. I was. Well, isn't that obvious? Where was I? How's your foot? Swelling visibly. Ah, yes, the two thieves. Do you remember the story? No. Shall I tell it to you? No. It'll pass the time. Two thieves crucified at the same time as our Savior. One, our what? Our Savior. Two thieves. One is supposed to have been saved and the other damned. Saved from what? Hell. I'm going. And yet, how is it? This is not boring you, I hope. How is it that of the four evangelists, only one speaks of a thief being saved? The four of them were there or thereabouts, and only one speaks of a thief being saved. Come on, go, return the ball, can't you once in a way? I find this really most extraordinarily interesting. One out of four. Of the other three, two don't mention any thieves at all, and the third said that both of them abused him. Who? What's this all about? Abused who? The Savior. Why? Because he wouldn't save them. From hell? Imbecile, from death. I thought you said hell. From death, from death. Well, what of it? Then the two of them must have been damned. And why not? But one of the four says that one of the two was saved. Well, they don't agree, and that's all there is to it. But all four were there, and only one speaks of being saved. Why believe him rather than the others? Who believes him? Everybody. It's the only version they know. People are bloody, ignorant apes. Pa! Charming spot. Inspiring prospects. Let's go. We can't. Why not? We're waiting for Ann Arbor Dad. Ah, you sure it was here? What? That we were to wait. He said by the tree. Do you see any others? What is it? I don't know. A willow. Where are the leaves? It must be dead. No more weeping. Or perhaps it's not the season. Looks to me more like a bush. A shrub. A bush. What are you insinuating? That we've come to the wrong place? He should be here. He didn't say for sure that he'd come. And if he doesn't come, we'll come back tomorrow. And then the day after tomorrow. Possibly. And so on. The point is, until he comes. You're mercilessly. We came here yesterday. Ah, no, there you're mistaken. What did we do yesterday? What did we do yesterday? Yes. Why, nothing is certain when you're about. In my opinion, we were here. You recognize the place? I didn't say that. Well, that makes no difference. All the same, that tree, that bog. You're sure it was this evening? What? That we were to wait. He said Saturday, I think. You think. I must have made a note of it. But what Saturday? And is it Saturday? Is it not rather Sunday? Or Monday? Or Friday? It's not possible. Or Thursday? What'll we do? If he came yesterday and we weren't here, then you may be sure he won't come again today. But you say we were here yesterday. I may be mistaken. Let's stop talking for a minute. Do you mind? All right. Go, 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 go. I was asleep. Why will you never let me sleep? I felt lonely. I had a dream. Don't tell me. I dreamt that. Don't tell me. This one is enough for you. It's not nice of you, Dee Dee. Who am I to tell my private nightmares to if I can't tell them to you? Let them remain private. You know I can't bear that. There are times when I wonder if it wouldn't be better for us to part. You wouldn't go far. That would be too bad, really too bad. Wouldn't it, Dee Dee, be really too bad? When you think of the beauty of the way and the goodness of the wayfarers. Wouldn't it, Dee Dee? Calm yourself. Calm, calm. The English say calm. You know the story of the Englishman in the brothel. Yes. Tell it to me. Ah, stop it. An Englishman having drunk a little more than usual, proceeds to a brothel. The bawd asks him if he wants a fair one, a dark one, or a red-haired one. Go on. Stop it. You wanted to speak to me? You had something to say to me? Dee Dee, I've nothing to say to you. You're angry? Forgive me. Come, Dee Dee, give me your hand. Embrace me. Don't be stubborn. You stink of garlic. It's for the kidneys. What do we do now? Wait. Yes, but while waiting. What about hanging ourselves? It'd give us an erection. An erection? With all that follows, where it falls, mandrakes go. That's why they shriek when you pull them up. Did you not know that? Let's hang ourselves immediately. From a bow? I wouldn't trust it. We can always try. Go ahead. After you. No, you first. Why me? You're lighter than I am. Just so. I don't understand. Use your intelligence, can't you? I remain in the dark. This is how it is. The bow. Use your head, can't you? You're my only hope. Go light, bow not break, go dead. Dee Dee heavy, bow break, Dee Dee alone, whereas I hadn't thought of that. If it hangs you, it'll hang anything.
But am I heavier than you? So you tell me. I don't know. There's an even chance, or nearly. Well, what do we do? Don't let's do anything. It's safer. Let's wait and see what he says. Who? Ann Arbor Dad. Good idea. Let's wait till we know exactly how we stand. On the other hand, it might be better to strike the iron before it freezes. I'm curious to hear what he has to offer. Then we'll take it or leave it. What exactly do we ask him for? Were you not there? I can't have been listening. Oh, nothing very definite. A kind of prayer. Precisely. A vague supplication. Exactly. And what did he reply? That he'd see. That he couldn't promise anything. That he'd think it over in the quiet of his home. Consult his family and friends, his agents, his correspondence, his books, his bank account, before taking a decision. It's the normal thing, is it not? I think it is. I think so too. And we? I beg your pardon. I said, and we? I don't understand. Where do we come in? Come in? Take your time. Come in on our hands and knees. As bad as that? Your worship wishes to assert his prerogatives? We've no rights anymore? You'd make me laugh if it wasn't prohibited. We've lost our rights. We got rid of them. We're not tied. We're not. Listen. I hear nothing. St. Nor I. You gave me a fright. I thought it was he. Who? Ann Arbor Dad. Pa, the wind in the reeds. I could have sworn I heard shouts. And why would he shout? At his pee-pee doctor. I'm hungry. Do you want a carrot? Is that all there is? I might have some turnips. Give me a carrot. It's a turnip. Oh, pardon. I could have sworn it was a carrot. That's all turnips. You must have eaten the last. Wait, I have it. There, dear fellow. Make it last. That's the end of them. I asked you a question. Ah, did you reply? How's the carrot? It's a carrot. So much the better, so much the better. What was it you wanted to know? I've forgotten. That's what annoys me. I'll never forget this carrot. Ah, yes, now I remember. Well, we're not tied. I don't hear a word you're saying. I'm asking you if we're tied. Tied? Tied. How do you mean tied? Down. But to whom? By whom? To your man. To Ann Arbor Dad? Tied to Ann Arbor Dad. What an idea. No question of it. For the moment. His name is Ann Arbor Dad? I think so. Fancy that. Funny, the more you eat, the worse it gets. With me, it's just the opposite. In other words, I get used to the muck as I go along. Is that the opposite? Question of temperament, of character. Nothing you can do about it. No use struggling. One is what one is. No use wriggling. The essential doesn't change. Nothing to be done. Like to finish it? On. Back. Let me go. Stay where you are. Be careful. He's wicked with strangers. Is that him? Who? Ann Arbor Dad? Yes. I present myself Pozo. Oh yeah, shit. I present myself DJ Fat Cat. Not at all. He said Ann Arbor Dad. Not at all. You're not Mr. Ann Arbor Dad, sir? I am DJ Fat Cat. DJ Fat Cat. Does that name mean nothing to you? I say, does that name mean nothing to you? DJ Fat Cat. DJ Fat Cat. Let me see. Pozo. Is that DJ Fat Cat or DJ Bat Bat? The DJ Vat. No, I'm afraid I don't seem to. I once knew a family called Gozo. The mother had the clap. We're not from these parts, sir. You are human beings nonetheless, as far as one can see. Of the same species as myself. Of the same species as DJ Fat Cat, made in God's image. Well, you see, who is Ann Arbor Dad?
Ann Arbor Dad? You took me for Ann Arbor Dad. Oh no, sir, not for an instant, sir. Who is he? Oh, he's a kind of acquaintance. Nothing of the kind. We hardly know him. True, we don't know him very well, but at the same time, personally, I wouldn't even know him if I saw him. You took me for him. That's to say, you understand the dusk, the strain, waiting. I confess I imagined for a second. Waiting? So you were waiting for him? Well, you see, here on my land, we didn't intend any harm. We meant well. The road is free to all. That's how we looked at it. It's a disgrace, but there you are. Nothing we can do about it. Let's say no more about it. Up pig, every time he drops, he falls asleep. Up hog, back, stop, turn. Gentlemen, I'm happy to have met you. Yes, sincerely happy. Closer, stop. Yes, the road seems long when one journeys all alone for, yes, 6 hours, that right, 6 hours on end, and never a soul in sight. Coat, hold that. Coat, touch of autumn in the air this evening. Whip. Yes, gentlemen, I cannot go for long without the society of my likes. Even when the likeness is an imperfect one. Stool, closer, back, further, stop. That is why, with your permission, I propose to dally with you a moment before I venture any further. Basket, the fresh air stimulates the jaded appetite. Basket, further, he stinks. Happy days. What ails him? He looks tired. Why doesn't he put down his bags? How do I know? Careful. Say something to him. Look. What? His neck. I see nothing. Here. Oh, I say, a running sore. It's the rope. It's the rubbing. It's inevitable. It's the knot. It's the chafing. He's not bad looking. Would you say so? A trifle effeminate. Look at the sobber. It's inevitable. Look at the slaver. Perhaps he's a half-wit. A cretin. Looks like a goiter. It's not certain. He's panting. It's inevitable. And his eyes. What about them? Goggling out of his head. Looks like his last gasp to me. It's not certain. Ask him a question. Would that be a good thing? What do we risk? Mr. Louder. Mr. Leave him in peace. Can't you see that he wants to rest? Basket. What can you expect? It's not his job. Ah, that's better. Please, sir. What is it, my good man? You finished with the, you don't need the, bones, sir? You couldn't have waited? No, he does well to ask. Do I need the bones? No, personally, I do not need them anymore. But in theory, the bones go to the carrier. He is therefore the one to ask. Go on. Don't be afraid. Ask him, he'll tell you. Excuse me, mister. You are being spoken to, pig. Reply. Try him again. Excuse me, mister. The bones. Well, you won't be wanting the bones? Mister. Reply. Do you want them or don't you? They're yours. I don't like it. I've never known him to refuse a bone before. Nice business it'd be if he fell sick on me. It's a scandal. Are you alluding to anything in particular? To treat a man like that, I think that a human being, it's a scandal, a disgrace. You are severe. What age are you, if that's not a rude question? 60, 70? What age would you say he was? 11. I am impertinent. I must be getting on. Thank you for your society, unless I smoke another pipe before I go. What do you say? Oh, I'm only a small smoker, a very small smoker. I'm not in the habit of smoking 2 pipes on top of the other. It makes my heart go pit-a-pat. It's the nicotine. One absorbs it in spite of one's precautions. You know how it is. Perhaps you don't smoke? Yes, no, it's of no importance. But how am I to sit down now, even without affectation, now that I have risen? Without appearing to, without appearing to falter? I beg your pardon. Perhaps you didn't speak. It's of no importance. Let me see. Ah, that's better. Let's go. So soon? One moment. Stool. More. There. Done it. Let's go. I hope I'm not driving you away. Wait a little longer. You'll never regret it. We're in no hurry. The second is never so sweet as the first, I mean, but it's sweet just the same. I'm going. He can no longer endure my presence. I am perhaps not particularly human, but who cares? Think twice before you do anything rash. Suppose you go now, well, it is still day, for there is no denying it is still day. Good. What happens in that case? I'm out in that case. In that case, what happens in the case to your appointment with this Ann Arbor Ann Arbor dad? Anyhow, you see who I mean, who has your future in his hands, at least your immediate future. Who told you? He speaks to me again. If this goes on much longer, we'll soon be old friends. But why doesn't he put down his bags? I too would be happy to meet him. The more people I meet, the happier I become. From the meanest creature one departs wiser, richer, more conscious of one's blessings. Even you who knows will have added to my store. Why doesn't he put down his bags? But that would surprise me. You're being asked a question. A question? Who? What? A moment ago you were calling me sir in fear and trembling. Now you're asking me questions. No good will come of this. I think he's listening. What? You can ask him how. He's on the alert. Ask him what? Why he doesn't put down his bags. I don't. Ask him, can't you? You want to know why he doesn't put down his bags, as you call them. That's it. You sure you agree with that? He's puffing like a grampus. The answer is this. But stay still, I beg of you. You're making me nervous. Here, what is it? He's about to speak. Good. Is everybody ready? Is everybody looking at me? Will you look at me, pig? Good. I am ready. Is everybody listening? Is everybody ready? Hog. I don't like reflecting I don't like talking in a vacuum. Good. Let me see. I'm going. What was it exactly that you wanted to know? Don't interrupt me. If we all speak at once, we'll never get anywhere. What was I saying? What was I saying? Bags. Why? Always hold. Never put down. Why? Why couldn't you say so before? Why doesn't he make himself comfortable? Let's try and get this clear. Has he not the right to? Certainly he has. It follows that he doesn't want to. There's reasoning for you. And why doesn't he want to? Gentlemen, the reason is this. Make a note of this. He wants to impress me so that I'll keep him. What? Perhaps I haven't got it quite right. He wants to modify me so that I'll give up the idea of parting with him. No, that's not exactly it either. You want to get rid of him? He wants to cod me, but he won't. You want to get rid of him? He imagines when I see how well he carries, I'll be tempted to keep him in that capacity. You've had enough of him? In reality, he carries like a pig. It's not his job. You want to get rid of him? He imagines that's when I see him indefatigable, I'll regret my decision. Such is his miserable scheme. As though I were short of slaves. Atlas, son of Jupiter. Well, that's it, I think. Anything else? You want to get rid of him? Remark that I might just as well have been in his shoes and he in mine, if chance had not willed otherwise. To each one his due. You wear him? I beg your pardon? Do you want to get rid of him? I do, but instead of driving him away as I might have done, I mean, instead of simply kicking him out on his arse, in the goodness of my heart, I am bringing him to the fair, where I hope to get a good prize for him. The truth is that you can't drive such creatures away. The best thing would be to kill them. He's crying. Old dogs have more dignity. Comfort him since you pity him. Come on, wipe away your tears. He'll feel less forsaken. Here, give it to me. I'll do it. Make haste before he stops. Hanky. Oh, the swine. He's crippled me. I told you he didn't like strangers. Show me. He's bleeding. It's a good sign. I'll never walk again. I'll carry you, if necessary. He stopped crying. You have replaced him, as it were. The tears of the world are a constant quantity. For each one who begins to weep, somewhere else another stops. The same is true of the laugh. Let us not then speak ill of our generation. It is not any unhappier than its predecessors. Let us speak well of it either. Let us not speak of it at all. It is true the population has increased. Try and walk. Guess who taught me these beautiful things? My lucky, will night never come. But for him, all my thoughts, all my feelings would have been of common things. Professional worries, beauty, grace, truth of the first water. I knew they were all beyond me. So I took a nuke. A nuke? That was nearly 60 years ago. Yes, nearly 60. You wouldn't think it to look at me, would you? Hat. Now look. Do you see? And now you turn him away, such an old and faithful servant. Swine. After having sucked out all the good of him, you chuck him away like a banana skin. I can't bear it any longer. The way he goes on. You've no idea. It's terrible. He must go. I'm going mad. I can't bear it any longer. He can't bear it any longer. He's going mad. It's terrible. How dare you? It's abominable. Such a good master. Crucify him like that after so many years. Really. He used to be so kind, so helpful and entertaining. My good angel. And now he's killing me. Does he want to replace him? What? Does he want someone to take his place or not? I don't think so. What? I don't know. Ask him. Gentlemen, I don't know what came over me. Forgive me. Forget all I said. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you may be sure there wasn't a word of truth to it. Do I look like a man that can be made to suffer? Frankly, what have I done with my pipe? Charming everything we're having. Unforgettable. And it's not over. Apparently not. It's only the beginning. It's awful. Worse than the pantomime, the circus, the music hall, the circus. What can I have done with that briar? He's a scream. He's lost his dudeen. I'll be back. End of the corridor on the left. Keep my seat. I've lost my cap and Peterson. He'll be the death of me. You didn't see by any chance. Oh, he's gone without saying goodbye. How could he? He might have waited. He would have burst. Oh, well, then of course in that case. Come here. What for? You'll see. You want me to get up? Quick. Look. Oh, I say. It's all over. He's not pleased. You missed a treat. Pity. He subsides. Indeed, all subsides. A great calm descends. Listen, Pan sleeps. What, will night never come? You don't feel like going until it does? Well, you see, why, it's very natural, very natural. I myself, in your situation, if I had an appointment with the Arbor dad? Anyhow, you see who I mean. I'd wait until it was black night before I gave up. I'd very much like to sit down, but I don't quite know how to go about it. Could I be of any help? If you asked me, perhaps. What? If you asked me to sit down. Would that be a help? I fancy so. Here we go. Be seated, sir, I beg of you. No, I wouldn't think of it. Ask me again. Come, take a seat, I beseech you. You'll get pneumonia. You really think so? Why, it's absolutely certain. No doubt you are right. Done it again. Thank you, my dear fellow, but I really must be getting along if I'm to observe my schedule. Time has stopped. Don't you believe it, sir? Don't you believe it? Whatever you like, but not that. Everything seems black to him today, except the firmament. But I see what it is. You are not from these parts. You don't know what our twilights can do. Shall I tell you? I can't refuse you. A little attention, if you please. What's the matter with this whip? Worn out this whip. What was I saying? Let's go. But take the weight off your feet. I implore you. You'll catch your death. True. What is your name? Ryan.
Yes, the night, but be a little more attentive for pity's sake. Otherwise, we'll never get there. Look, will you look at the sky? Good, that's enough. What is there so extraordinary about it? Qua sky. It is pale and luminous like any sky at this hour of the day. There when the weather is fine. An hour ago, roughly, after having poured forth, even since, say, 10 o'clock in the morning, tirelessly torrents of red and white light, it begins to lose its effulgence to grow pale, ever a little paler, until, finished, it comes to rest. But behind this veil of gentleness and peace, night is charging and will burst upon us. Pop, like that, just when we least expect it. That's how it is on this bitch of an earth. So long as no one knows. One can bide one's time. One knows what to expect. No further need to worry. Simply wait. We're used to it. How did you find me? Good, fair, middling, poor, positively bad? Oh, very good, very, very good. And you, sir? Oh, Trey Bong, Trey Bong. Bless you, gentlemen, bless you. I have such need of encouragement. I am weakened a little toward the end. You didn't notice? Oh, perhaps just a teeny weeny little bit. I thought it was intentional. You see, my memory is defective. In the meantime, nothing happens. You find it tedious? Somewhat. And you, sir, I've been better entertained. Gentlemen, you have been civil to me. Not at all. What an idea. Yes, you have been correct. So that I ask myself, is there anything I can do in my turn for these honest fellows who are having such a dull time? Even 10 francs would be a help. We are not beggars. Is there anything I can do? That's what I ask myself, to cheer them up. I have given them bones. I have talked to them about this and that. I have explained the twilight, admittedly. But is it enough? That's what tortures me. Is it enough? Even 5. That's enough. I couldn't accept less. Is it enough? No doubt. But I am liberal. It is my neighbor. This evening, so much the worse for me. For I shall suffer, no doubt about that. What do you prefer? Shall we have him dance or sing or recite or think or who? Who? You know how to think, you too. He thinks, certainly, aloud. He even used to think prettily once, and I could listen to him for hours. Now, so much worse for me. Well, would you like him to think something for us? I'd rather he dance. It'd be more fun. Not necessarily. Wouldn't it, Dee, be more fun? I'd like to hear him think. Perhaps he could dance first and think afterward, if that isn't too much to ask him. Would that be possible? By all means, nothing simpler. It's the natural order. Then let him dance. Do you hear, Hogg? He never refuses. He refused once. Dance, misery. Is that all? Encore. Pooh, I do as well myself. With a little practice. He used to dance the farandole, the fling, the brawl, the jig, the fandango, and even the hornpipe. He capered for joy. Now that's the best he can do. Do you know what he calls it? The scapegoat's agony, the hard stool, the net. He thinks he's entangled in a net. There's something about it. Whoa. Tell us about the time he refused. With pleasure. Wait, what have I done with my spray? Now that isn't it. I can't find my pulverizer. My left lung is very weak, but my right lung is as sound as a bell. No matter. What was I saying? Wait, well, now isn't that... Help me. Wait. Ah, he has it. Well, why doesn't he put down his bags? Rubbish. Are you sure? Damn it. Haven't you already told us? I've already told you. He's already told you. Anyway, he has to put them down. So he has. And what of it? Since he has put down his bags, it is impossible. We should have asked why he does not do so. Stoutly reasoned. And why has he put them down? Answer us that. In order to dance. True. True. Nothing happens. Nobody comes. Nobody goes. It's awful. Tell him to think. Give him his hat. His hat? He can't think without his hat. Give him his hat. Me, after what he did to me, never. I'll give it to him. Tell him to go and fetch it. It's better to give it to him. I'll give it to him. You must put it on his head. Tell him to take it. It's better to put it on his head. I'll put it on his head. What's he waiting for? Stand back. Think, pig. Stop. Forward. Stop. Think. On the other hand, with regard to stop, back, stop, turn, think. Given the existence is uttered forth in the public works of Puncher and Watman of a personal God, quack, 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 with white beard, quack, 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 outside time without extension, who from the heights of divine, apathia divine, athambia divine, aphasia loves us dearly, with some exceptions for reasons unknown, but time will tell, and suffers like the divine Miranda with those who for reasons unknown but time will tell are plunged in torment, plunged in fire, whose fire flames if that continues, and who can doubt it will fire the firmament, that it is to say blast hell to heaven, so blue stilled and calm, so calm with a calm which even though intermittent is better than nothing but not fast, and considering what is more than a result in the labors left unfinished, crowned by the Academy of Anthropometry in the Essie and Posse of Testu and Cunard, it is established beyond all doubt and all other doubt than that which clings to the labors of men, that as a result of the labors unfinished of Testu and Cunard, it is established as hereinafter, but not so fast for reasons unknown, that as a result of the public works of Puncher and Watman, it is established beyond all doubt that in view of the labors of Fartov and Belcher left unfinished for reasons unknown, of Testu and Cunard left unfinished, it is established what many deny, that man in Posse of Testu and Cunard, that man in Essie, that man in short, that man in brief, in spite of the strides of elimination and defecation, waste and pines, and concurrently, simultaneously, what is more for reasons unknown, in spite of the strides of physical culture, the practice of sports such as tennis, football, running, cycling, swimming, flying, floating, riding, gliding, conating, camogie, skating, tennis of all kinds, dying, flying, sports of all sorts, autumn, summer, winter, winter tennis of all kinds, hockey of all sorts, penicillin and succedanea. In a word, I resume flying, gliding, golf over 9 and 18 holes, tennis of sorts in a world for reasons unknown, in Feckham, Peckham, Fulham, Kaplan, namely concurrently, simultaneously, what is more for reasons unknown, but time will tell, fades away. I resume Fulham, Clapham. In a word, the dead lost per head since the death of Bishop Berkeley, being to the tune of 1 inch, 4 ounce per head approximately, by and large more or less to the nearest decimal, good measure, round figures, stark naked in the stocking feet in Connemara, for in a word, for reasons unknown, no matter what matter, the facts are there, and considering what is much more grave that in the light of the labors lost in Steinweg and Peterman, it appears what is much more grave, that in the light of the light of the labors lost in Steinweg and Peterman, that in the plains in the mountains, by the seas, by the rivers running water, running fire, the air is the same, and then the earth, namely the air, and then the earth in the great cold, the great dark, the air and the earth, abode of stones.
In the great cold, alas, alas, in the year of our Lord 600 and something, the air, the earth, the sea, the earth abode of stones, in the great deeps and the great cold on sea and land and in the air, I resume for reasons unknown in spite of tennis, the facts are there, but time will tell. I resume, alas, alas, on, in short, in fine, on a abode of stones. Who can doubt it? I resume, but not so fast. Resume the skull, fading, 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 and concurrently, simultaneously. What is more for reasons unknown, in spite of the tennis on the beard, the flames, the tears, the stones, so blue, so calm, alas, alas, on the skull, the skull, the skull, the skull, the skull, in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, the labors, abandoned, left, unfinished, gravers, still abode of stones, in a word, I resume, alas, alas, abandoned, unfinished, the skull, in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, the stall, alas, the stones, Cunard, tennis, the stones, so calm, Cunard, unfinished. Unfinished. His hat. Avenged. Give me that. There's an end to his thinking. Will he be able to walk or crawl? Up, pig, perhaps he's dead. You'll kill him. Up, scum, help me. How? Raise him up. He's doing it on purpose. You must hold him. Come on, raise him up. To hell with him. Come on once more. What does he take us for? Don't let him go. Don't move. Hold him tight. Don't let him go. Hold him tight. Now you can let him go. Forward, back, turn, done it. He can walk. Thank you, gentlemen, and let me wish you. What have I done with my watch? A genuine half hunter gentleman with a deadbeat escapement. 'Twas my grandpa gave it to me. Well, now isn't that just? Perhaps it's in your fob. Wait, I hear nothing. Surely one should hear the tick tick. Silence. I hear something. Where? It's the heart. Damnation. Silence. Perhaps it is stopped. Which of you smells so bad? He has stinking breath and I have stinking feet. I must go. At your half hunter, I must have left it at the manor. Then adieu, 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 and thank you. Thank you. Not at all. Yes, yes, no, no. Yes, yes, no, no. I don't seem to be able to depart. Such is life. You're going the wrong way. I need a running start. Stand back. On, on, faster, on, stool, adieu, 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 up, pig, on, faster, on, adieu, pig, yip, adieu. That passed the time. It would have passed in any case, yes, but not so rapidly. What do we do now? I don't know. Let's go. We can't. Why not? We're waiting for Ann Arbor Dad. Ah, how they've changed. Who? Those two. That's the idea. Let's make a little conversation. Haven't they? What? Changed. Very likely. They all change. Only we can't. Likely. It's certain. Didn't you see them? I suppose I did, but I didn't know them. Yes, you do know them. No, I don't know them. We know them. I tell you, you forget everything. Unless they're not the same. Why didn't they recognize us then? That means nothing. I too pretended not to recognize them. And then nobody ever recognizes us. Forget it. What we need. Ow. Unless they're not the same. Dee Dee, it's the other foot. Unless they're not the same. Mister. Off we go again. Approach, my child. Mr. Albert? Yes. What do you want? Approach. Approach when you're told, can't you? What is it? Mr. Ann Arbor Dad. Obviously. Approach. Will you approach? What kept you so late? You have a message from Mr. Ann Arbor Dad? Yes, sir. Well, what is it? What kept you so late? Let him alone. You do let me alone. Do you know what time it is? It's not my fault, sir. And whose is it? Mine? I was afraid, sir. Afraid of what? Of us? Answer me. I know what it is. He was afraid of the others. How long have you been here? A good while, sir. You are afraid of the whip? Yes, sir. The roars? Yes, sir. The two big men? Yes, sir. Do you know them? No, sir. Are you a native of these parts? Do you belong to these parts? Yes, sir. That's all a pack of lies. Tell us the truth. But it is the truth, sir. Will you let him alone? What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? I'm unhappy. Not really. Since when? I'd forgotten. Extraordinary trickster memory plays. Well, Mr. Ann Arbor Dad, I've seen you before, haven't I? I don't know, sir. You don't know me? No, sir. It wasn't you came yesterday? No, sir. This is your first time? Yes, sir. Wise words. Speak. Mr. Ann Arbor Dad told me to tell you he won't come this evening, but surely tomorrow. Is that all? Yes, sir. You work for Mr. Ann Arbor Dad? Yes, sir. What do you do? I mind the goats, sir. Is he good to you? Yes, sir. He doesn't beat you? No, sir, not me. Whom does he beat? He beats my brother, sir. You have a brother? Yes, sir. What does he do? He minds the sheep, sir. And why doesn't he beat you? I don't know, sir. He must be fond of you. I don't know, sir. Does he give you enough to eat? Does he feed you well? Fairly well, sir. You're not unhappy? Do you hear me? Yes, sir. Well, I don't know, sir. You don't know if you're unhappy or not? No, sir. You're as bad as myself. Where do you sleep? In the loft, sir. With your brother? Yes, sir. In the hay? Yes, sir. All right, you may go. What am I to tell Mr. Ann Arbor Dad, sir? Tell him you saw us. You did see us, didn't you? Yes, sir. At last. What are you doing? Pale for weariness. Of climbing heaven and gazing on the likes of us. Your boots, what are you doing with your boots? I'm leaving them there. Another will come just as me, but with smaller feet, and they'll make him happy. But you can't go barefoot. Christ did. Christ, and what has Christ to do with it? You're not going to compare yourself to Christ. All my life I've compared myself to him. But where he lived, it was warm. It was dry. Yes, and they crucified quick. We've got nothing to do here, nor anywhere else. Go. Don't go on like that. Tomorrow everything will be better. How do you make that out? Did you not hear what the child said? No, he said Ann Arbor Dad was sure to come tomorrow. What do you say to that? Then all we have to do is wait on here. Are you mad? We must take cover. Come on. Pity we haven't got a bit of rope. Come on, it's cold. Remind me to bring a bit of rope tomorrow. Yes, come on. How long have we been together all the time now? I don't know, 50 years maybe. Do you remember the day that I threw myself into the Rhone? We were grape harvesting. You fished me out. That's all dead and buried. My clothes dried in the sun. There's no good harking back on that. Come on. Wait, I'm cold. Wait, I sometimes wonder if we hadn't been better off alone, each one for himself. We weren't made for the same road. It's not certain. No, nothing is certain. We can still part if you think it would be better. It's not worthwhile now. No, it's not worthwhile now. Well, shall we go? Yes, let's go.